let me go, let me bring it home to you. Just let me go, let me bring it home to you. Now if
What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon, lifestylesdefined.com. I know the topic of the video is kind of wild, so yes, I did indeed return my Lumia 950 XL. I could feel the hearts of many around the world simultaneously breaking in half. So there are a few things that led up to that decision. Maybe on its own, each instance is not anything noteworthy, anything worthy of returning the phone itself, but together they were in fact reason enough to return this phone. So let's start from the top. Number one was the experience that I got on the new 950 XL, and as much as a Microsoft fan, or fanboy, or whore, self-proclaimed Microsoft whore that I am, I can't just mute the consumer part of me, right? And this is the thing. If I'm gonna be giving you guys an opinion and serving as a validated source of opinion for a lot of people on these things, I need to be grounded and remember that my preference should not guide me to be blindfolded, if you will, when it comes to being a consumer. And in honesty, the best thing for the consumer is the best experience you can get for your money. That was not the Lumia 950. The issue here, and I continue to harp on this, is the OS is not finished. It is so frustrating, and I don't mean it's not finished where it's crashing all over the place, it's slow, it's unusable. There are things that I've come to expect from Windows Phone, all the way from Windows Phone 7 to the beta Windows 7 Mango, Windows Phone 8, 8.1, and I don't get much of that here. It's that speed, that fluidity, that elegance of the OS, and there's traces of it there. A lot of it's still there, but it's still very much beta. And what frustrates me the most about that entire situation is I can restore my Lumia 1520 to Windows 8.1, and I could use that as a much better daily driver than I could the 950 XL with the Windows 10 on there. There's a lot to be said for that. It's just not ready. And this is sort of the second point. I went out and spent my $700 outright for this thing, and what I spent did not equal the experience I got on a Lumia 1520 when it was first pushed out. And let me put that into perspective for you. It's not about missing features. What it's about is this thing worked as advertised. The 1520 I'm referring to. The 950, it's what is advertised? How is it supposed to work? There's a lot that's still missing from this phone that was in the previous generation, and it doesn't help to know that I can install the Windows 10 Insider preview on my Lumia 1520 and have the exact same experience that I was having on the 950 XL. So why did I spend $700? Okay, I get it, right? I get it. And this is one of the touchy subjects in the Windows Phone world, where fans were screaming for new hardware. People were looking at the numbers and complaining, oh, it was 5%, now it's 3%. And I want to reiterate to you guys that Microsoft, it's a viable business for Microsoft and they have to be in it. But I think a lot of people don't realize Microsoft doesn't really play by the numbers in that mobile game. They're just happy to be there. And the Windows Phone is just a small piece of the ecosystem. The other ecosystems, the other parts or pieces of that ecosystem is doing very well. You're talking Windows 10 on the desktop, the tablets. Surface as a brand is flying. You're talking Bing. Bing is finally making a profit. You're talking Office. You're talking Xbox. Xbox is doing well. These are all things that play a small piece in that overall puzzle. And the Windows 10 that's the one that's far behind by a long shot. And it's only this way because they didn't quite figure it out yet. I don't think their strategy is 1,000% clear on what they want Windows Phone to be. And this to me is validated by looking at the release of this hardware. I still feel like this hardware should not have been released. Now, I know the devout was getting antsy. They're jumping ship. They want new hardware. There was no hardware. There's no hardware for a year and change, maybe more, almost 2 years actually. What do you do there? Well, you handle it how Google handles it with their Nexus program. Sell these phones online. Sell them in a Microsoft store, but make it a huge disclaimer. This is an enthusiast device. And by enthusiast device, I mean, we can change direction at any time. You can expect some bugs. Things aren't working 100%. I mean, there's tons of people on the forums complaining about battery life, which I did not have issues with. Tons of them complaining about the phone heating up, which I haven't had a consistent issue with. It did it for me once or twice, and I think a third time when recording video. But by and large, for the month or so I was using it, didn't have any issues with heating up. And then there's a lot of other things going on, like Continuum is not fully ready. It's more of a toy right now than an actual go-to product. It is really cool. And then there's also the fingerprint stuff. The iris scanning stuff, which is pretty cool. But the more you use it, it does work, yes. But it feels like it should be piece of a puzzle. You should have that fingerprint reader on there still. Also, you can have that iris scanner. And I don't think it's pretty hard. My phone's going wild here. I don't think it's pretty hard to implement both, especially when you're charging me $700. Now, take into account the fact that, and I think this is a biggie, that the software on the phone was not ready and is not ready. Removed it from Microsoft, right? And the reason I love Microsoft is Microsoft's been working exceptionally hard over the years to set the example. They're not cool anymore. People hate them for whatever reason. They're considered less than elegant, and there's been so much work done for them to fight past that and show and prove and actually deliver products that are along the lines of not only what we as Microsoft fans expect, but or we know they can deliver, but also products that are worthy of consumers. So you take that bit into consideration, right? Then you take the bit that it's got all type of issues right now. If Apple was to do this, if Apple was to launch this phone like this, it would be a fuckfest. And the thing that pains me the most is Microsoft's been doing a good job of raising the bar in their deliverance. Do you remember the Windows 8 days when they said, you know what, shut up and ship? We're not going to say what we're doing. We're not going to advertise. We're just going to ship it. And they've been doing it. And I don't get that same hoorah. I don't get that same feeling when I'm using my 950. And it's not fair. I feel like a lot of the Windows Phone fans are like, they're turning the other cheek. Like, no, don't turn the cheek. Don't buy that shit. This is why I returned it. I opted to vote with my wallet on behalf of whomever else. You get what I mean? Like, do I love the OS? Yes, but I can experience that on my Lumia 1520 without spending $700. Will I miss the camera? No, because I walk around with a $4,000 camera to do my photography. So it's still, what else about it is supposed to change the game other than the fact that you're a huge Microsoft fanboy? There isn't much. And even if you're a huge Microsoft fanboy, I don't recommend spending $700 to be disappointed or to wait for them to get it right. Now, does this mean I'm walking away from Windows Phone? Absolutely not. I'm gonna wait till AT&T finally releases the XL, and I'll pay for it on a monthly basis. It's Christmas, baby. Do you know what I can buy for the household, me and my lady, my mom, my parents, for $700 in Christmas? You know, I already made that sacrifice when I said I'm gonna buy this for me, and it wasn't what it was supposed to be, and I didn't realize the shortcomings of the entire picture, and I think it's a hard pill to swallow. But I'm gonna wait for, not only it's two things here. I'm gonna wait for AT&T to get the phone so I can pay the $24 or whatever it is a month and not really feel it all one time. And the second part is, I won't even be doing that until I feel like Windows 10 is a much more stable product, a much more polished product. Right now, it's not polished, and I can go through all of that on my Lumia 1520. You know, I can put my SIM card from my Galaxy into my 520, and be absolutely happy, and still have the same experience I had on the Lumia 950 XL minus $700. That's something to be noted, folks. So don't take it as I'm walking away from Windows Phone. In fact, I really love the direction it's going. I just feel like we as the fans put Microsoft in a really hard place where we wanted hardware, and this is what we get, a half-baked attempt. And I think they could have come about given the Enthusiast hardware without jeopardizing what's going on here. Because I listen, I've been telling my mom to wait, and now I can't recommend the Lumia 950 for her. I just can't. And that's a problem, right? As much as I can, I don't even want to use it because I don't feel like it's complete right now. So yeah, that's why I returned it. Hit the comments below. Let me know how you guys feel. My name is Ramon. This is Lifestyles Defined. I'm out of here. Peace.